All right, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan. Today we're going to look at why I think Netflix needs to buy Fubo. I am never been so sure about something in my entire life. I'm serious. So it just seems like a match made in heaven. They really just need to, touch those tips. So, that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. If you guys enjoy this kind of entertaining stock market content of two stupid guys trying to learn how to trade stocks and options, by all means, give us a like and subscribe below. With that, we'll get to it.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right. I love this thumbnail so much.
Yeah, the symbolism there. Fubo is clearly limp.
Fair enough. All right.
The hand is limp. That's the whole point.
Boom. So basically, I started doing the research because I thought this would be a great idea. And then after like 5 hours of looking at their financial statements, I'm like, I don't understand why this hasn't happened yet. Because it, to me, seems perfect. So here's my goal. We're going to go into Fubo's current financial standings. There's a lot of earnings videos. I'm not going to hit this too hard. It's going to be quick and concise on just the major points. Same with Netflix. There's a million YouTube videos on that, right? Then why a partnership would change TV as we know it, and I would really like people to tell me why I'm wrong, including you.
I'll do my best.
Cool, man. Perfect. So, like I said, I'm going to just kind of focus on the highlights here, but this is Fubo's earnings report. They just put up ridiculous, absurd numbers, total revenue growth, 196% year over year. Advertising, this is going to be very key a little bit later on, but up 281% to 16.5 million. Yes, I understand, Vinny. It's only 16.5 million. I get it. Hold on.
More than I have, but it's still.
Yeah, I know. Douche. The ARPU also increased, all this stuff. Their subscribers, I have a whole separate graph for that. But basically, if you just look at these numbers, insane growth. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
The reason why it's insane is because all the other TV companies are doing the opposite. That's why it's crazy.
True.
Okay. Also, one more thing here. Net loss, 94 million for the quarter. Kind of substantial.
Decent size.
In my opinion.
5 times their advertising revenue.
But they had revenue of 130 million. Shut up. And then this is just basically the full year revenue. So this is what they had quarter 19, quarter 20. They're obviously just going parabolic, and they have changed this number like multiple times. Like every quarter, this just goes up like 50K because they were projecting I think 605 subscribers, and then they got 680.
Yeah. It's definitely been an atypical year, right? Because you've been following Fubo for a while. It's one of your larger holdings. But so, you had previously told me that quarter 1 and quarter 2, they usually bleed off subscribers. But yet this year, they've added subscribers sequentially, quarter 1 and quarter 2.
Oh, I got a beautiful graph showing that. Don't you worry.
Nice.
So this is the advertising growth that Vinny shoves off. And I get it. It's a small number. Okay. But more importantly, parabolic is all I'm trying to say, right? And not only that, but it's the amount per user that's just going up substantially.
Yeah, and they're charging a premium service too, so they're not reliant entirely on the advertising revenue, which is cool.
They are not. Exactly. Do you want to talk about adjusted contribution margin?
No, I'm not familiar with that particular term. Adjusted contribution margin.
It was a really weird thing, but regardless, average revenue per user all the way up to $71, which I thought was high.
It is.
Because when you look at the higher you get, the closer you get to direct TV and all that crap. And well, Dish is probably worse, where you end up paying like $200 for a stupid thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was fairly incredible that their average revenue per user, $71, and they're actually still growing substantially.
Yeah. Because, they are charging, what, $65 a month is like the standard Fubo TV?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Plus now they're getting that, advertising revenue as well. So yeah, I could see how they're approaching the $70 territory per user. That's pretty substantial.
And it's very important. All these numbers have nothing to do with the sports book.
Yeah.
Out. No, this is only a TV streaming service. This was probably my favorite graph during the earnings report. So if you look over Q2 19, Q2 20, I'm sorry, Q2 19, Q2 20, Q2 21, this giant number here is what they were paying for the content to what they brought in. So they were paying 1.5 times for the content for what they're actually receiving in revenue. So they're finally under the 100% mark. And on top of that, you look at sales and marketing, this number, this actually, is shrinking from 17 to 26, and they're getting more and more subscribers by a giant margin and increase. So they're actually spending less.
Okay.
Which I was pretty happy
less
about.
In terms of a dollar value, or less just in terms of percentage of revenue? Or
percentage of revenue, not dollar value.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, the point is here is as they're scaling, they're becoming more and more efficient, and like the actual expenses needed to run the business are becoming a smaller portion of what they're bringing in.
Yes, yeah, they're definitely spending more overall because they made like $7 here in revenue for the whole year. So
$7.
And I this is always the page after taking advice from Vinny that I go straight to. It's cash equivalents, and total liabilities. So 2020 bunch here, 2021 doing better. They also had increase in total liabilities, but they actually did pay off a couple notes, by the way. So
I think the important thing to look at on in terms of the balance sheet when you're looking at these pre-profitability companies is to see how much leeway they have. Because right here you're looking at about $400 million in cash in their account, and you are saying that they lost $90 million last quarter. So you're saying they would have probably about 4 quarters or so of cash enough to sustain themselves without having to either borrow more or sell more shares to raise capital.
Yeah, which they just did.
Yeah.
So now they're said now this is actually $900 million.
Exactly.
Great for Fubo shareholders.
Yeah, well, they're good now for like a year and a half, almost 2 years.
So and once again, that's without any, because the reason why they're spending so much money is they're creating the infrastructure, the apps, and paying for all the legality stuff to get Pennsylvania, which is what they just got. They have like 4 states for betting. So they're hemorrhaging money with getting almost no return until quarter 4. Exactly. So you're going to start getting a ton of revenue that was previously spent for the last like 5 quarters, which is what's showing negative numbers. So this is the one thing that I was looking at. Quarter 4 to quarter 1 every year, and quarter 1 to quarter 2. So you have this decrease in subscribers, right? Same thing, decrease in subscribers. These 2 quarters are the weakest, and this is not for Fubo. This is for all streaming, and I don't really know why. Maybe seasonality thing, but for whatever reason, we've had our 2 best quarters. That's not even close. This is why I keep on saying parabolic. This is an absurd number. We haven't even hit quarter 3, quarter 4 yet. So let's get into Netflix. Okay, I don't want to do too much chart stuff. There's a ton of videos already on that, but basically Netflix's total subscriber base is sitting at 209 million. All the growth came internationally, with like 1 million subs being from I think Pacific Asia, I'm not really sure. And they lost 400K subs in the US and Canada. Okay. They are blaming the slow growth to the opening economy as we recover from COVID. Makes no sense, because Fubo is in the exact same situation and increasing, and they have steadily been increasing since COVID. And more importantly, actually, I'm going to do that in the next slide. This is our annual operating margin. They had an insane increase in everything due to COVID. So they're still kind of back on track, but they are kind of leveling off here. And more importantly, this is what I want to look at. Okay. So this is 2017 by month subscriber increases. So 2017, 2018, 19, pretty much the same. 2020, you have this crazy deal here. And then 2021, you are having your worst year in a very long time. And it's no coincidence that you're having all these other streaming services start their own business. HBO has taken a bunch of stuff. Paramount announced, Peacock, all these other stuff. And now you're seeing these horrible decrease and all of these subscribers. What you smiling at?
You left off the king of the new streaming services.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, actually. I got a great slide for that. Don't worry.
Love it.
So once again, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just want to show you a couple things. Just look at the red circles, but basically the year-over-year growth, if you just follow these numbers, is greatly decreasing, and their free cash flow is negative. They're hemorrhaging money, dude. Like, they're not doing well. It's probably because they start, producing a crazy amount of original content, and 80% of it sucks. So again, they're spending so much money, and like The Witcher's really good.
Never seen it.
Well, that's all they got. So
I've watched one season of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is good too. So I just typed in like Netflix earnings today, and like this is the stuff that's coming. This is what Vinny was referencing.
Yeah.
Disney's reached 116 million subscribers in like 3 quarters or 4 quarters, and Netflix has been around for 15 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
No, 209. So the reason why I think this is a match made in heaven, and this slide is very important, okay? All these companies are fighting over this little chunk, okay? And it's a very, very profitable chunk. No one's talking about this giant chunk here of these failed companies that are hemorrhaging subscribers and slowly going over to here, okay? You do have some companies like Sling and Fubo who are in this area, and they're increasing and increasing and increasing. Fubo more so than Sling. Sling more total, but not at the same rate. So the more companies that start their own streaming service, such as HBO Max, Paramount Plus, Peacock, the more content Netflix loses. And here's where that's a problem. They're not in any way going to compete with Netflix. I'm not saying that they're big enough for Netflix. They're not. They can't compete at all. But they are weakening a giant Goliath for others to take market share, Disney, for others to take market share from them. And when I say that, I mean, like, do you watch Netflix?
Occasionally. We watch more Disney Plus, honestly. Simpsons, 33 seasons.
What did you watch like a year ago before Disney Plus?
I would say that a year ago, it was probably Disney Plus still. Right around this time, we signed up on the first day of Disney Plus.
No. Before Disney Plus came, so like over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean Netflix. I would say Netflix. Then.
Same. I haven't watched Netflix in 6 months.
Yeah, for the most part, I would agree as well.
That's a problem, and it's because like I'm so busy like all the time. So I'll have shows that like I already know what's happening, so then I don't have to like kind of watch it to follow along. So like Parks and Rec or The Office, those are gone. I now pretty much exclusively watch Hulu. So why am I paying for Netflix?
Yeah.
You can make the argument that they have all this original content, but most of it sucks. Like they do have some good shows, don't get me wrong, but most of it's just not that good. They have all these weird like reality crappy shows. Anyways, here's Netflix's weekly chart. Okay? The yellow line is COVID. We're not growing as much as we should be here. This is a weekly chart, so this is a full year. This is a little bit over a year. We're just chopping around. We're not doing anything. And they don't offer a great dividend, so why would you want to be invested in this stock if it doesn't move?
Yeah, I agree. Netflix is not even of interest to me enough to do like a deep dive. From some other stuff I've heard about, the way they expense their content is a little bit like I don't love it. It doesn't give me a warm fuzzy feeling inside.
Same. Yep.
Yeah, and then I definitely see what you're saying. It's not really quite as sticky a product as people would have thought. Unlike the mouse is sticky.
The mouse is sticky. Okay.
If you have anyone in your family under the age of 10.
I don't really like the Disney characters or anything, but Disney Plus is honestly the shit. It is incredible. This is supposed to be a representation of Netflix's competitors, with the size of the logo being the importance of the competitor. Now that's only partway true, because this should be the whole screen, but then you can't see anyone else. So this is a whole different monitor on my setup. Okay. Awesome. So just caveat.
Impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, Paramount, Peacock, Apple TV, sort of HBO. These two are big. and they're growing, more importantly.
Yeah.
And the more they grow, the more they take from Netflix. These red lines are solid for live TV. Now, this is an opinion, but they're solid for live TV, meaning they have many options. Okay. It's not like Paramount where they have like CBS.
Yeah.
It's live TV sort of, but not really. So pink are the ones that sort of have it. Not really. Prime Video will have like a football game every now and then that's live, right? But it's not live TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you remember how Netflix started?
Yeah, they used to mail me discs to my house. It's great. Right. You know, like $9.99 a month, up to 3 discs.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's also really funny if you ask like a younger person how Netflix started. They have no idea. By the way, they really don't know that it was a DVD mailing company.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to show is that they have pivoted, and a very probably industry, like one of the best industry pivots probably ever, at least top 5, because they were going from mailing this to a giant conglomerate of TV content.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember discovering streaming on there the first time because I had a Sony Blu-ray player and I had the Netflix like app, and like I don't remember what shows it was. It was some garbage show because their content was horrible at first when they offered streaming. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool that I can do this and like it actually comes through with halfway decent quality. You know? Yeah,
no, it's awesome, and
only buffers occasionally.
Only buffers occasionally. And you know, now the problem is because you have all these little companies that are also starting their own little, you know, in comparison, that are also starting their own streaming companies. They're siphoning off the content that Netflix was leasing.
Yeah.
So now we're back to 80% crap of Netflix's content. Like, have you been on Netflix recently? It's not that good.
No, I know. I completely understand. Yeah, I mean, I did watch the entire Office series when it was on there.
Yeah, and I love Parks and Rec. I was watching it all the time. Now I'm doing like what I do with HBO, where when The Witcher comes on, I'll buy it for 3 months, and then I'll cancel it, just like I did with Game of Thrones for HBO.
Yeah.
Like I would just only have it then. So here's my little thesis here, okay? By acquiring Fubo, they're opening themselves up. Oh, Vinny's having technical problems. By acquiring Fubo, they're opening themselves up to 63% more market share instead of only fighting over the 20% market share that they're sharing. And when I say sharing, I mean losing, right? This, again, does not take into account Fubo sports wagering at all.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a massive business. The green states are the ones that are already legal for online.
Mm-hmm.
Fubo already has 4 of these and is getting more, but they already have the big ones, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, that stuff. This was according to Global Newswire that basically the market is expected to grow for online sports betting, not just gambling, specifically online sports betting, in millions, 24,988 to 59,530. This was a conservative number. If you go on other sites, it's like 8 times what it is now, right? Because so many different markets are opening.
I want to show that video clip here, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
This is from the Fubo earnings call, the most recent one. It's a little demonstration of the kind of integration of the app along with the Fubo TV so you can do the sports betting. Nice. This is a CEO talking here.
Of this particular integration, it's the first of many to come.
Yeah, this is such a good idea, man. So they're literally flipping between games, and you get the odds and the spread on the side in real time. And then add Vizio to that list. They just signed that partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty impressive. It was well put together, and then like I really like what they're doing there. Obviously, they're going to be limited at first, only having 4 states, but it looks like they're going to have pretty wide distribution as far as different brands that they'll be able to work with. And then you could see this becoming like a very sticky product. They talked a little bit about a flywheel. Have you ever heard about a flywheel in business before, Dylan?
Mm-mm.
It's a big Amazon thing. is how you create habits that reinforce themselves. So by having this, like, the streaming service that's integrated with this, it can kind of, if you make the product easy enough to use, people will use it more and more. That's what like Alexa is designed to do with Amazon products, and easier for you to purchase them, more interactions with them.
Right, because Alexa is smart and Siri like sucks, so I never use Siri anymore.
Sure.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, the pros of this are Netflix gets to expand to a much larger market, including live TV and sports betting. And once again, sports betting is going to be absolutely huge. America loves to gamble, right? The infrastructure is already set in place by Fubo. They've already paid for it. Shareholders have already paid for it just recently, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have to. It's not like you're buying some little thing that you then have to try to merge into. You're buying a solid, almost finished product that's going to launch in like 4 months. And then Netflix can leverage its business to easily 100 times the advertising revenue for Fubo. When I say that, I'm saying look at what Disney's doing. They're now bundling Hulu, ESPN, and Disney because Disney has this incredible library of ridiculously awesome content. And then Hulu has all the shows I used to watch on Netflix that are gone. And then like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like it's gone. It's on Hulu though. They have that, and then they also have live TV, and it's just a perfect conglomerate that they can just continue to expand. And then it would completely save Netflix's growth problem. The only con is I'm in Fubo to be a millionaire, and I'm going to get bought out at like $37 a share probably, and then I'm going to be in Netflix, and it's going to be a bummer for me.
True. I could see that being a downside from your standpoint. Yeah. I mean, you'd make a quick, probably like double on your money almost, but that'd be about it.
I truly don't understand like any problems in this merger. This seems like an absolute grand slam to me. I don't get why it's not happening. It seems like an absolute no-brainer, especially as Netflix is trying to reach into other markets outside the US. Fubo is literally, that's how they're growing because they have the whole soccer aspect.
Yeah, very true. And then like I know Netflix is trying to kind of diversify their interactions with their customers by adding the whole gaming, to their platform. Sports betting is, to me, very much in the same vein. I mean, I'm not really a sports bettor or gamer, so, but it definitely can increase your touches with your customer, I suppose.
I don't get how this isn't happening tomorrow. I'm confused. So anyone in the comments, please tell me why I'm an idiot and why this isn't happening. I feel like it needs to happen. Like it's very obvious to me.
So should we forward this to, is it Reed Hastings? That's the CEO of Netflix, I think, right?
I don't know his name. I just know Fubo's guy. And Lisa Sue from AMD.
Yeah. That's enough. All right, guys. Well, tell us what you think about this whole like Fubo Netflix pairing, and also what you think about Fubo itself, because Dylan's, I know, long Fubo. I'm not in it right now, but
I'm 100% believe in that company. I'm going to be very upset if Netflix buys them. I'm not saying it needs to happen because I'm now going to lose millions of dollars over the course of the next 20 years. I'm just saying I don't know why they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. All right. See you guys in the next one.
Later.